Okay, the first type of material we're going to use that you can choose from is watercolor paint. So if you have watercolor paint, this may be the route you want to go. And if you don't have watercolor paint, then obviously choose one of the other materials. So I'm going to use watercolor to paint these chunks of lettuce. So I've got some water and a brush. Now, if you don't have a brush, you can actually probably use your fingers or even like a toothbrush, a makeup brush, a Q-tip, anything to substitute for a brush if you don't have one, okay? So I'm going to get some water on my brush, and my lettuce is going to be green. So I'm going to get some water in the paint, swirl it around. And I know I want quite a bit of water because the toilet paper is going to absorb quite a bit of the water. So kind of go back and forth. If it's going on dry, you can see I'm getting a dry brush. Just go back and dip back into your water and take it back into the paint, or just add some water to your lettuce or your toilet paper to kind of drag the color around. Okay, now we talked about earlier in this lesson, paint blending, we're having more than one color. So lettuce has got different shades of green. So I'm going to go into a different shade of green and kind of pull that darker color and just sort of dab it around the edges. And because this watercolor is so damp, it's going to do its own blending. So I'm going to just work with that. Okay, so this is just the very basics on how to get started. Don't forget to flip it over and do the other side once you're done the first side. Now you're going to notice this is going to get wet. That's okay. Just set it back on your plate, crinkle it back up in the shape you like so that it can just spend a little bit longer drying before you assemble it to take your pictures to hand in. Perfect. So now I've used watercolor to color my leaves, and as you can see, they're still damp, so I'm going to let them dry a little bit. Now, I just want to remind everyone, look close. You can see I've used 2 different shades of green, and that's where that color blending comes in. And it's really important to try to do that to kind of increase the realism and the detail in your finished work. It will add so much more life to it because real lettuce or real whatever you're making has more than one color to it. So try a little bit. The toilet paper does a really good job of blending for you. So give it a try. If you have watercolors, go with this technique. And if not, see the videos on acrylic painting or markers to add color to your work.